This is Bacicas by Megan J. Collins. On the tallest mountain for miles sits a boy on the cusp of manhood. Snow blankets the ground, leaving Bacicas frozen. He had nothing but the clothes on his back, for that is how things were always done. The town in the valley below had a ritual of sending each man for one night up the mountain in the dead of winter. Only when Bacicas completed this would he be a real man. As a man, Bacicas could participate in council votes. He could move out of his parents' home and use the wood he had been collecting to build a home of his own. But more importantly, he could marry Mila. Even though Bacicas only knew a few women, he knew Mila was the most beautiful girl to ever walk through their valley. Every boy wanted her as his wife, but she had chosen him. The only thing that stood between him and the love of his life was a few hours on the mountaintop, the easiest quest there was for love. Easy until the sun set. Their valley had always been cold, but the mountain had layers of frigid temperatures. The wind howled, the ground froze, and Bacicas chattered his teeth so hard he might bite his tongue off. But he didn't need his tongue to live. He just needed Mila. The moon was only halfway in the sky when Bacicas lost all feeling in his hands and toes. Standing up, he did the valley dance, imagining Mila in his arms as he stomped on the ground. With each kick, Bacicas let out a deep yell, spreading his energy from inside him into the frozen air. While Bacicas enjoyed himself, the mountain found his actions disagreeable. The snow moved under Bacicas' feet, sending him tumbling down the mountain. A pile of snow as big as a house landed on top of him. He could no longer dance, call out to his love, or breathe. But the goddess Kyla looked down at him, a wicked thought brewing in her mind. She melted all the snow on top of Bacicas, sinking it into his body, bleaching his hair, skin, everything snow white. Bacicas woke up with the sun, grateful the gods had taken pity on him, grateful he had survived, grateful he could be with Mila. However, the second he stepped from the mountains onto the land with no snow, Bacicas began to melt, for his body was made of pure snow. Anger filled his heart. He would never leave this mountain, never build a home, and never be with his lovely Mila. A month later, another boy, Pili, climbed up the mountain. He was the golden son of the town, with the greatest musical ability that the elders had ever heard of. Surely a boy like this would be fit to marry his dear Mila. Bacicas could not bear the thought of another man holding her in his arms, building a home for her, or marrying her. No, if he could not have her, then no one could. Bacicas had not expected Pili to be so easy to take down. The boy had barely any time to scream before he was silenced. From that day on, every time a boy was sent to the top of the mountain, Bacicas would pounce on them, ensuring none of them would ever have his dear Mila. The end.